Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you very much for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan. For the support of Oracle cards, Wisdom of the House of Night. And on the back here is who it's by. Because I've been butchering it so bad, I'm just going to put it up there. But if you search for it by the name of the deck, you should find it easily if you would like it. Okay. We're going to do relationship first, single second. Oracle cards come out as necessary. Sagittarius, we've got a double there. That's an interesting card to have there. Let's see where. Stop. Okay. So, what's really strong here to start off, Ace of Cups for your partner. Got all this love going on for you, which is great. But I also see them coming forward like their challenge card is justice. They've got a lot of love for you, but there's something they got to come clean about is what I got. They got to come clean about something. And I'm feeling another justice feel in the future, and I feel like they're working on coming forward with something. They're standing with the Temperance and the the King of Swords is right behind it. They're biding their time to tell you something. It's kind of like they feel they have to say it at the right moment. Something is a little bit off. I know we're going through a lot of their cards to start with, but they're very happy with you. They want to keep you happy with them. But they got this candle going on here, which I think it says honesty. So I feel like it's bothering them. Something is bothering them. It's burning at them if you want, at them, egging at them, eating at them if you want. They have to tell you something. But they want you to stay happy with them. Ironically, they can't be comfortable in this relationship if they don't come forward with whatever they're holding back. And they have to tell you it's bothering them, it's bothering them, it's bothering them. They have to tell you the truth about something. Now, when it finally comes forward, I honestly feel you pulling it forward, oddly enough. You got the Ace of Swords on your side. You got what's coming in here is the Eight of Wands with the Ace of Swords, with the differences popping right in with the Eight of Wands, which all of this together is telling me you're starting this conversation. It seems to be out of the blue. It just seems kind of random. I don't feel like you realize what you're about to pull forward. But you're starting a conversation. You might be just having one of these whimsical moments where you're just feeling like you want to talk about something. You open the door. You get them to kind of like spill the beans. I don't feel like you know that this is going to happen. I just feel like you're just kind of having a random conversation, quite frankly. And you're talking about differences. Like it has something to do with differences. Maybe it's something that you don't match on, and you're bringing up a conversation about, while we're having this moment, let's talk about this type feel. Because you got differences here, and it's kind of like what they're telling you and how you're feeling about it is just not good. It's like it's not making you feel good. You don't really like it. I don't feel you liking it. I'm getting that differences card. And I'm not seeing, like, argument in the sense of, like, you flipping out or losing your mind over it. But I don't see you liking it with this differences. But the thing is, with the differences, I do see, like, I feel like you can relate to it or understand why what happened. Liking it's another story, but understanding why it happened, you seem to got that. You understand why it happened. Liking it, that's a whole nother thing. Now, from this moment when they tell you this, it seems to put you in this weird spot. Like, is this changing things for you? And you're questioning this. They tell you this, whatever this is they got to tell you. It's something you're kind of like, you're not really sure what to do with it, but you're questioning, like, does this change things for you? It seems to be that important. Like, it kind of, like, is this going to change what we do going forward? Is this changing how we're relating to each other? Some of you might be looking at this like, well, you were lying to me for a time. And what does that mean to me? Let alone what actually happened. So the fact that they held it to themselves for a while, that might be bothering you for a little bit too. Depending how long they held it for themselves or to themselves, you know, if this is something they've been holding on to for years or for months even, just to be fair. If it's something like that, that might bother you. Like, how long have you been holding on to this information and you finally told me? And you might also be looking at that like, and I've had to pull it out of you before you finally told me. Others of you, if it's not as long, it may be have a little bit different flavor for you. Depends how long that your partner was holding on to this information, quite frankly. But you're wondering, is this the challenge card is the wheel? When it's the challenge card, the question is this going to make a twist of fate? Is this going to change how things go? Is this going to be the wheel turning left or right for you? In the challenge position, it's a question. It's not an answer. It's like saying it doesn't mean it will happen, but it's a possibility. Things could change from here going forward. It's kind of not really sure yet. Because I definitely feel like you definitely, for the majority of this situation, you do love your partner. You do want to stay with them. It's not really that. I don't feel like that being the question. But that one little moment of distaste is kind of like, that's real bitter. And it's like, it's hard to get that flavor out of your mouth. You're like, I don't like this dishonesty thing. Even though they finally came clean, to you it's like I had to pull that out of you. Like, what else are you holding back? What will help you move on from this situation is the Ace or the Knight of Pentacles. It's going to take you a while. I feel like you're going to be a little bit cynical for a little while about what your partner tells you. You're going to be kind of wondering, you know, for everything you tell me, what are you not telling me? And I feel it's just kind of going to take some time for you to feel comfortable again. Like, you know, something else isn't lurking in the shadows. Your partner, on the other hand, and I feel like this is one of the reasons this is getting better for you over time. It is getting better for you over time, but the reason is your partner has the Devil card, is that conclusions? Conclusions. And they have the obedience, is that what they call it? But you'll notice it has a very strong look of the Justice card on it. The fact that this is bothering you, the fact that this has upset you, that's the obedience, that's the justice feel. This feels very much like a Justice card to me. And they have to adhere to the rules now, and if they don't want this to cause greater damage down the road, they have to make sure they don't pull any more secrets, or, you know, they're more in the forefront, that they're more forward, you know, in telling you what's going on and not holding things back or not doing things that would upset you to begin with. And if they do something that upsets you, them telling you as soon as possible is better. The longer they hold on, the worse it is, and especially when they realize they will tell you sooner or later. Now the conclusion is, the last situation that they got off their chest, it had been bothering them for quite a while. And I'm getting the fact that it's concluded and they've moved on from it, that is a very big weight off their shoulders, and they don't want to replace it with some other weight. And I feel like over time, you can see how it did stress them, how they feel very remorseful about it, but you're also seeing they don't want another weight on their shoulders. That really bothered them to hold on to it for so long. They hated doing it. They felt like they had to. They finally spilled the beans. Of course, I feel like the way you started this conversation, it feels like you're the one that got them to spill the beans, but still, the beans have been spilled. The weight has been lifted. They do not want another weight on their shoulders. And I feel like you're realizing this over time. Like, they don't want something like that looming over them again. So the fact that it's gone, they don't want something else like that happening again. So the fact of them repeating that is very low, if not nil. And I feel like that's why this gets better for you over time. All right, and I feel like this is what we have for Sagittarius in relationships. All right, let's get into Sagittarian singles and see what we have for you guys. My dog has come over. Go lay down, sweetie. Go lay down. Go on. Good girl. Go lay down. Yeah, I love you. Go lay down. I'll play with you later. Just looks at me and she's like, "What? You're gonna talk to a camera rather than play with me? Why would you do that? Why would you want to do that?" Sagittarius singles. What do we have for Sagittarius singles? Messages for Sagittarian singles. Messages for Sagittarian singles. What do we have for Sagittarian singles? What's really happening? What's going on around them? And we're just going to start. I'm getting the infinity sign here. Past influence, that's definitely there. And the Knight of Cups, but it's slipping out from the bottom of the deck, I'm noticing. Which may make me, makes me want to say that like there's an offer of love here, but it's not really direct. It's kind of, it may be like through innuendo. Like it's not a flat out direct offer of love because of the way this came out of the deck. I feel like it's just kind of implied. It's like one of those implied moments, if you know what I mean. Let's see what we have to add into the oracle cards here. Because I want a little bit of clarity on the last card, hopefully, too. We'll see if that comes out. Because the last card is very interesting. It's not really good nor bad, but it can be... Alright, so the implied thing here. It's implied. I don't feel like, again, it's not coming flat out forward. I just feel like it's implied. Like this offer of love seems to be implied. Nobody's flat out saying it. Seems to be implied. Now, this is what's really strong here. This is in your thoughts. The Lover's card. This person, I feel like you might be holding feelings, and you might have been holding on to these feelings for quite a while. For some of you, since maybe teenage years, if you're not a teenager as it is. But it's been going on for a while. The Emperor card is with here in the past. Like this is something, like this is a connection to this person that's very rooted in history. You got the Six of Cups coming up that's also reiterating that. But there's a very strong connection with this person. There's feelings of love for this person, but there seems to be some type of block. Again, this is for a Sagittarius single, so you're not in a relationship with this person, not a romantic relationship at the very least. You might have a friendship relationship or something like that, or maybe a working relationship, but not a romantic relationship. And I'm seeing that there's a lot here connected to this, and I feel like you flat out know how you feel about this one. You flat out know. It's not even a mystery. When you think about this person, you'd like to be with them, but there's some type of block. And again, I got the Sun card at the top. You have very strong feelings for this person, and I feel like this person is somewhat reciprocating. In the environment, you got the Three of Cups. You work well with this person. You deal well with this person, whether it be a friendship, a working friendship, however you're connected with this person. And for somebody, I'm getting there's a family connection, like a sibling or a cousin. It's their partner. Like, I don't feel like they're related to you, so I don't want to be weird like that. But, like, you know, like a sibling of yours, their partner, or a cousin of yours, that partner, or somebody like that, maybe aunt or uncle, or whoever, and it's their partner that you're feeling for. I am getting that weird family connection. It's not like you're blood related to this person, but it's through somebody else. Somebody else is connected to that person. Because I'm getting the Five of Wands behind it. That's this one. There we go. If something were to happen, like that'd be a big deal. I feel like there's a block here. There's a very strong block here. Whatever it is. Even if it's a friendship and this person is in a relationship, or for whatever reason there's a block here. Like you're blocked from this person, you can't go towards them, you can't make this happen. Now, even though you get along and you have a very strong connection, you do have the Four of Cups at the bottom. Like you are happy with them, except you want that one last cup. And it's just like it's the Forbidden Cup, and you got literally the forbidden card coming up in a minute. You know how you feel though. I can't seem to get into these middle two cards. I don't know why, but you know how you feel. I think we've already said this though, but you've been feeling this for a while. You currently are, and it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. The center card is you got the infinity symbol above that lady, and the strength card over here. There we go, right here. Above her, you can see that infinity symbol. But right with it, Nine of Swords. It's kind of like it's a barren situation. You're barred. It's a barred situation. I said barren, but I don't know why. You can't get close to this person. You can't get any closer than you already are. And you know that this is something you really shouldn't be crossing this line anyway. It's just one of those things, kind of like, I wish I didn't feel like this for this person. I wish I could just be content with the friendship or the connection we do have. But the feelings are there. And I'm getting here in the future, this is the Forbidden card and the Six of Cups, which I think I mentioned too. This, I feel like there's almost like a repetitive situation. Like for some people, this is kind of like a flirting situation, or just something where people, like maybe you say little off color things to each other in jest, but maybe it's not as much jest as what you really want, and you both might be feeling that way. You're saying things in a kidding fashion, but maybe you're not as kidding as much as you really do want it. That's kind of just what I'm saying. Because I'm getting the Six of Cups with the Forbidden, like this just seems to circle around. And it just seems like you're connected with this person, you want this person, you get close to this person, and you're like, I can't get any closer, you pull back, and then you get close again, and you pull back, and you just like, it seems like it's closer and closer to the danger zone, whatever that danger zone is for you, crossing that line, and I feel like you're getting really nervous here. But you're very, it's like a moth drawn to the flame. You're just kind of like, I'm so attracted to it, even though I know it's a bad thing. This isn't going to work for me. Now your outcome here is an interesting card. You got the Fledgling, is that what that is? The Fledgling, which is usually a beginner novice feel. Somebody who's just starting out, somebody who doesn't have the answers but wants them. The Five of Swords is telling me this is kind of like, it's a pointless victory. The fruitless win. It's where you technically win the game, but it doesn't really matter. It's kind of like, so what, you won the game, who cares? One of those feelings. It's kind of like you won, maybe you had the most money in Monopoly and the game's over. You're like, yeah, but this doesn't improve my life. It's one of those feels. Where this is going, I feel like you have a moment coming forward. And I feel like this, for those of you this is really hitting with very strongly, they're warning about this moment coming forward. A moment where you could have an intimate moment with this person. And it's one moment, it passes on, and after it's passed on, the other person kind of acts like it never happened. And you're in a position where you can't really bring it up either due to the circumstances. That's the Five of Swords. The Fledgling is kind of like you not understanding what to do with it now. And now that it's gone this far, it's kind of like, now what do I do? Because I can't really talk about it. It's kind of like the Fledgling is really, in this reading, I just feel like it's kind of like, but that moment happened. So obviously the feelings are mutual. But what I'm getting here from the environment is the Warrior card. Which, the thing with the Warrior is a very interesting card in this deck. This person is focused on what they want. And they're not going to let things get in their way of what they truly want in life. It's something about being with you, there's a very strong lustful attraction is kind of how it feels, just to be fair. Because this can be kind of a lustful card for whatever reason. I think it's just the way I interpret that card, that guy on there. I mean, it is the Warrior, but what the Warrior is going for is another thing. But I feel like, even though a moment may be a little bit unplanned, if you will, this person will not let it derail them from what they really want in life. They won't let it cause problems. And I feel like you're going to be left out in the lurch on this. Even though they have reciprocating feelings, they're not willing to acknowledge it to the point of it causing problems. I almost feel like this energy would flat out deny that anything happened after the fact. So even if you brought it forward and said something, I feel like they would deny it just to keep what they have. So what we're getting with the Fledgling is, especially with the Five of Swords, like they're warning you about this moment coming forward. They're saying you don't really want to do this. It's going to be short-lived, and it's just going to be one of those things that keeps you more tied to the situation, a situation you need to detach yourself from. Finding a way to detach from it is the trick. But they're saying if you get caught up in that moment, it's just going to make it worse on you. You're not going to feel any happier. You're going to actually feel less happy afterwards because you're going to know what it's like to have that connection, but then to be ignored afterwards or pretending the other person pretending it never happened, that's not feeling good. And the Fledgling is like somebody who's lacking answers, that needs answers. Also a person that has to go through the struggle of how things feel. One thing that might release you from this is realizing that the other person isn't so concerned about your feelings as much as holding on to what they have. Sometimes that can help people detach when you realize how, yeah, they have passion for you, but they don't really care about how things are affecting you, or they don't really, you know what I mean? They're not invested in your emotions and how things are affecting you emotionally. And once you realize that they don't really care in that respect, sometimes it's easier to disconnect, realizing, there's no real love there. There's only your desire towards them. You may have, legitimate love to give to them, but if they're not going to reciprocate it, that might, once you realize that, that might help you detach from it. All right, so that's where that's going. I feel like we should let that be. All right, so I'm going to wrap this up here. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.